what I want to cover today is a few things. How I met Ajay for the first time, how I got interviewed and hired, how I moved from office to office, and moved up the chain, starting with Ishi, right out of school, and where I ended. So I'll start with the interview. So I'm sitting at home. So let me take a step back. I'm still in school. I'm in my final year, and I'm looking for jobs. And a friend of mine introduced me, saying that this company from the U.S. wanted to hire people in Indore because they were starting an operation in Indore. So I got reached out. I was like, okay. I sent in my resume, and then out of the blue, I'm sitting at home, and actually Fatema's sitting there too at home. And the phone rings, and this is like late at night. And it's Ajay calling me. And he's like, oh, I'm calling you for this interview because you applied for this job. And he asked me a few questions, but he asked me like maybe 2 or 3 questions. But the one question he asked me was, can you tell me the singleton pattern? And so luckily I knew the answer to that. And so as soon as I answered it, and he was like, okay, good. And he started to tell me about the company. That was the interview. He asked me that one question, and he made, like within a day, they made me an offer, and we started in Indore. So that was where I started, and I started with Ishi. Now I was doing my computer, I was doing my master's in computers, and so when I started, I didn't know what I was going to do. And so, I spoke to Ajay quite a few times, and he was like, just trust me. Do what I tell you to do. Don't ask me what you need to do, because I thought I should be doing things in a specific way, but he was like, just trust me. And so I trusted him. He made me do networking. He made me connect wires to routers, to install operating system on computers. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to do whatever you tell me to do. But the point of the story is, whatever Ajay has told me throughout the years has actually helped me so much in my career. Everything I know, basics about everything in computers, has helped me build on that knowledge to where I am today. So that was Indore. Then, and this is, I think there's nobody in this room that has actually worked in the Delhi office. I'm the only one who's actually worked in the Delhi office. So Ishi had a Delhi office for, I think, 8 months. 8 months. And I'm the only surviving member of that Delhi office. Not that everybody else is dead, but I'm the only one here. So I worked in the Delhi office for about 8 months. So Ajay asked me to move to Delhi, and so I moved to Delhi, and we built the team out there. Again, I was helping build out the team, learning, teaching people there, and it was an amazing experience. And then I finally came to the U.S. And even in the U.S., we started in one exchange place on the 3rd floor. Yeah. And then we moved to the 6th floor. But the 3rd floor is where, 10th, 6th? Third, and then, no, the 308, and then we did, 600. Yeah, 600. So, started at 308, had an amazing time there. The amount I've learned through this experience has actually helped me throughout my career. A few things I take away from what I learned. And like I said, Sid already stole everything I was going to say. But the who before what, that was a key message throughout what we did. It was always about who do we hire, what are the right people, how can we get them on the bus, and then we can figure out what we're going to do next. And that tells today, because it's 20 years. The company is still here. It's growing. It's flourishing. And that's because the focus is always on who is part of the team, not what the company is doing. The company will figure out what we will do, or they will do, but it is who we have in the team. So that was the first big lesson. Entrepreneurship was another one. You can control your own destiny. If you have an idea, if you have a vision, Ishi will support it, will make you successful. And then lastly, just the whole aspect of being part of a family. I think even today, after all these years, whenever I meet Ajay, whenever I meet any of you, I always feel like it's a big family. So this whole thing about being part of the family, being part of the culture, being part of the same, having the same vision, the same goals, has always been so instrumental in each of your lives, but also in my life. And so what I want to leave you guys with is, Ishi is an amazing platform that each one of us who aren't with Ishi right now have gone through, but the ones who are here should feel lucky, because what you are encountering and what you're learning today is going to help you so much in the future, in whatever you do in life, because it just builds your fundamentals from a life perspective, not about technology, what about what you do in your workplace, but about how you live your life, how you treat others, and how you work together as people. Thank you.
Thank you.